Hey y'all, it's Simply Shaquila, the Southern Belle Bombshell. Today, I felt so compelled to come and review Family and Fiancé Season 3, Episode 8, Brijet and Andre. Let me just give a quick backstory. I have seen every episode of Family or Fiancé. I really enjoy this show. This is the type of reality TV that I like because it is like real life. It's not scripted real life, it's just real life, kind of how like True Life on MTV was. That used to be my favorite show back in the day. I used to love True Life. This gives me that type of vibe because people are literally coming there to resolve real family issues. Like I said, I've seen every episode. I haven't felt compelled to review, talk about, or even like, I don't know, something about this episode really had me talking to the TV. It really had me talking to the TV because I just could not believe the amount of just like gaslighting that took place and just the dynamics between Brijet and her family. It was just like astronomically insane. So I just wanted to talk about it. First of all, I just want to shout out Brijet to let her know that she is so brave for coming on national TV to tell her story and to try to reconcile with her family in front of the world. That's number one. It was very strong and brave and just fearless for her to come on TV and do that because first of all, tapping into that type of emotion, that deep emotion, is not easy, and you're doing it in front of the world. Totally not easy. I think that Brijet and Andre are a beautiful couple. When I saw them, I was like, oh, they're going to have beautiful children. Like, they are just gorgeous together. So I want to commend them, first of all. And the way that he loves her, you can tell he truly loves and cares about her. Like, so I just wanted to get that out the way. Now, her family. I was so with Tracy when they had their last session, and she was like, I really wish that you would just go to St. Louis because you have a home there. Pack your and go to St. Louis with your man and get away from them people. And I was kind of heartbroken that she went back home, and then they called off the engagement. Like, her family was just horrible to her. Like, seriously, you can tell. Obviously, she said that she was in therapy doing the work, and you can tell because she's so self-aware. She knows how to communicate her feelings. She knows what she's feeling, how to communicate them, and really trying to tap into resolving issues that she has with her mom. And I feel like there is some hope in the mom, but the mom has to silence her siblings, like her other two kids, because first of all, when Brijet was having a conversation with her mom after the initial meeting, and she was letting her mom know, like, hey, I feel like he was calling me out, and I didn't appreciate that. Her sister gonna sneak up talking about something, is this a constructive conversation? And the mama like, no. Actually, it really was a constructive conversation, and this ain't had nothing to do with you, ma'am. So you need to exit out the conversation and let that girl have a conversation with her mama. Why you dipping in the business and this ain't got nothing to do with you? This family don't know boundaries. This family does not know boundaries. Oh, that made me so mad. That made me so mad. And another thing that made me so mad was that brother. The fact that the brother thinks he's about to fill his father's shoes. First of all, first and foremost, that little sit down that you had with Andre, no, sir. Because you trying to check him, but what you really need to be doing is checking yourself on how you treating your sister. How about check that first? Talking about you're not violent and you ain't gonna raise a hand. Well, we know that. Who was you trying to convince otherwise? Yourself? Like, that was just weird. And I just do not like how that family is using this girl as a scapegoat. They're using her as a scapegoat to deflect from their own trauma and their wrongdoings. And that is wrong as hell. And I did not appreciate how the sister got up and left from the therapy session when Brijet was telling her story. Like, first of all, this ain't even got nothing to do with you, ma'am. This is her speaking her truth. Why does that make you upset? Probably because something similar happened to her and she couldn't face it. But that's not, this session is not for you. This is for her to speak her truth and to try to come to a resolution with her mom. To try to heal so that she can get the blessing and move forward with her life with her fiance, you know. And then the mom was onto something when she apologized. This way lets me know that I think there's some hope in the mom. When she apologized and said, I thought I was doing the right thing, but now I know that I'm not. And I appreciate the therapist stopping her before she went on to try to say, well, you hurt me too. No, sit in the apology like the therapist said, because that's what she needs to hear in this moment. When somebody is expressing their feelings about wrongdoing that has been done to them, you don't apologize and then follow up with, well, you did this to me too. No, you stand in it and you let that moment be. You let that moment happen. And I was grateful for that. That's what lets me know that there's some hope within that mama. But it's that sister and that brother that's gonna dip in, because then the brother came around and said, oh, well, you did the best that you could for us. Nobody's denying that, like, obviously. But that does not absolve her of the wrongdoing and the trauma that she caused y'all. And what lets me know that the brother didn't have the same experiences as the girls is that when they were at the dinner table and they were talking about Brijet and Andre sleeping in the same bed, and I think it was Andre's brother or his best man was like, well, I don't see no problem with that. And the mama was like, oh, because you're a male. It's not about your honor. Those stipulations that they put on them daughters, they didn't put that on the son. You can tell that by her saying that. So that lets me know he had a totally different experience. But something happened with that sister that's probably similar to what happened to Brijet, because the sister gonna go and say, this is not fair. My kids have to watch this one day. What does your kids watching Brijet telling her story have to do with you? Because the truth is gonna come out. Like your children are gonna see the truth of the trauma that is in this family, in this lineage. They need to see that, because this is what being passed down to them. That's what generational trauma is, and generational problems and issues. That's where it comes from. Not speaking on the things and healing the things that traumatize you in your life. And clearly, all of that which Brijet went through has obviously affected her adult life. And then I really want to get into the fact that, I mean, I understand your family wanting the best for you and looking out for you and want to make sure that whoever you're marrying is like a sound and stable person and a moral person. But at the end of the day, you grown as hell. You are not no 15, 16, 18-year-old child. You a grown-ass woman. And if you say that you want to sleep in the bed with your man, but y'all not having sex, that's your prerogative. And you honestly don't owe nobody no explanation. Like, that's what was getting me. And Tracy said it best. They trying to control you, girl. It seemed like she been a scapegoat of the family, because they just making it seem like the problem, that she's the problem. And then the brother gonna say, have the nerve to say, you're bringing us down to your level to make yourself feel. But Brijet was bringing them down to her level to make herself feel better. No, sir, y'all are trying to drag her down to your level to make yourselves feel better, because she's actually elevated because she's healing. She is healing, and y'all are gaslighting the F out of her. And oh my God, I wish she would just go to St. Louis and get away from that. Like, get away from them, because they're not ready for the conversation. They're not ready for the healing. And if you can't make nobody be ready, but you can save yourself. But you can tell she still has some codependency issues there, because she lied to her mom about what she doing. Because she don't want them to have nothing to say. And I get what Tracy said when she was like, I see why you lie to your parents, because when you tell the truth, it's a whole shebang. But ma'am, you're gonna have to let that codependency go if you ever want to thrive in life. Like, I'm sure your family loves you and care about you, but right now they are so toxic, like super toxic. And I just could not believe like how they are trying to control this situation. And one thing that really peeved me during this episode was that how they kept saying, if the dad was alive, XYZ would not happen. He would not tolerate XYZ. RIP to that man, and may he be resting in peace. But I wish they would stop saying that. You cannot speak for him. I am sorry. That man is not here to speak for himself. You cannot speak for him. And it's so many times families go on Family and Fiancé thinking and feeling one way. And through that process, they see the light. They see that they were being problematic. They see where they have been wrong. And they understand. Who's to say that this man wouldn't have come and went through the process and seen that? Who's to say that? So you can't say what he would or would not. Let that go. Please stop saying it and stop using it. They're just trying to use that as a way to control that girl. And I just could not believe my eyes. And one thing that I really, Tracy, I really wish Tracy would have got into them. Like, Tracy would have got them together. And I speculate that she did it because, A, the death of the father probably was still recent. And B, it really wasn't about the family. It was about Brijet. Those are the only two things that I can really assume that. Those are the only two reasons why I can assume that she didn't get that family together, because Tracy would have gathered them right together. And I was so for Andre checking that sister at the dinner table. Like, didn't you live with your husband before you married him? So, pot kettle, how are you being so hard on her when you out here doing the same thing and did the same thing? And it's not a thing of, oh, I sin so you can sin too. I got away with it so you can get away with it too. No, it's that you need to stop being so judgmental against your sister over some shit that you done did as well. You coming so hard down on her when you did the same thing. That was him standing up for Brijet. And I get that he apologized to the sister because he really wanted to keep the peace. But I'm glad he did that, because it's like somebody need to tell them people about themselves. Because the way that they treat that girl is just so wrong. And I was so here for her saying, I don't even want their blessing because I don't even need their blessing. But I was very disappointed at the end, you know, when they say what happened when they got home. I'm just like, girl, why you ain't pack your shit and take yourself to St. Louis? You could have started a new family with your fiance. Clearly, you and his mom connected. You telling your story. Anytime you talking to another woman and she connect with you and she crying because she understand your pain and what you going through, that's a connection there that you can build upon. She would have been just fine in St. Louis and got the hell away from her family, because they feel like, oh, she's asking for our blessing, then she needs to acquiesce to what we say and do, you know, acquiesce to what we say and how we want things done. No, ma'am. That's not how it works. You don't get to control this girl's life. She's a grown woman. And then it was so contradictory that the mom saying she don't see the passion. How you can't see the passion, but you don't want them even sleeping in the same bed? Where you think the passion's supposed to be coming from, ma'am? Like, I just don't get it. Like, they are trip mode squad, but Tracy said it so right when she said they are projecting their trauma, they're projecting their issues, they're projecting their self-hate, they're projecting all of those negative feelings and emotions that they feel about themselves onto her. And I see why she has been closed off from her mom, and she clearly stated why, and her mom was just sitting there looking. I just cannot wait to see Where Are You Now, to see what happens to them, because like I said, I've seen every single episode of Family and Fiancé, and never have I felt this, like, just, first of all, blown away and so compelled to, like, just speak my piece on this episode, because it was just like, wow. It was like, if people don't understand what gaslighting is, show them this episode, because this is just like a clear example of somebody being gaslit and just made to seem like their experiences and their feelings don't matter, and just all of that being invalidated. And I loved when Brijet was in a therapy session with, I forgot the other lady's name, the therapist. And she told her mom, like, you're not going to sit up here and say this didn't happen to me, because it did. I was like, yes, girl, you better stand up for yourself. You better stand up for yourself, because, ooh, the lady was about to sit up there and say, no, it didn't. I just really wish and hope that Brijet continues to go to therapy. She continues to heal, and she continues to see everything for what it really is, and not allow her family to try to control her, not allow her family to try to use her father as a tool and a method to try to control her. Because that, first of all, that's wrong as hell. That man is gone, and y'all still trying to say, oh, if he was here, this would be understandable. You can't speak for him. Stop doing that. Like, that is incredibly wrong. Just so wrong. And I hope she heals her codependency issues on her family as well, and she's able to leave them behind. I think leaving them would be the best solution for her, because one of the issues was that her mama was saying, like, she's never been on her own. She's always been taken care of by someone. She's not moving by herself. She got a man right here who gonna take care of her. So that, I mean, that's a contradiction to what the problem is. That's why I'm, like, not understanding, like, who y'all trying to fool? And then you can tell Brijet and Andre, they have good communication and a good emotional communication as well, because she clearly said, I need you to be here for me more today. And he was like, okay, I can be more emotional and compassionate with you today. That let me know that they have a good communication and they understand each other, and there's some emotional intelligence there. Like, I love seeing that dynamic. And then the fact that she was celibate and he brought up being celibate before she did, that is a sign that God has his hand in your relationship. That is a sign, ma'am. That is a sign. It is. Because first of all, The men's is not like that out here in these streets. No, ma'am. Like, that ain't common. And for him to even, you know, be that way is just like, wow. I really hope y'all get it together. Like, for real, I hope y'all can come together. Y'all can continue to build upon y'all relationship. Y'all get re-engaged if y'all are disengaged. And you take yourself, Brijet, from California to St. Louis. And live your life, sis. And be happy. Because there's nothing wrong with you being happy. Everybody else's burdens is not yours to carry. Everybody else's life is not yours to worry about. Everybody else is doing what they want to do in life. You do what you want to do in life. This is your life, ma'am. If marrying this man and moving to St. Louis is what you want to do, please do it. Don't worry about how it made nobody else feel, because at the end of the day, it ain't about nobody else. It's about you and your happiness, because everybody else is doing what they want to do to make themselves happy. And you have the right to do the same. So, yes, y'all, sorry I just went on like a whole rant. And I really hope that this made sense. Because, ooh, this episode really moved me. It really moved me. It really had me feeling some type of way. Y'all should have seen me earlier screaming at this TV now. I'm trying to tell y'all. And I don't even watch TV like that. And I don't even like get emotionally invested in stuff. But that episode, I think it's because I saw a lot of myself in her. Not saying that we went through the same things in life, but experienced some of the same like feelings about feelings being invalidated, being gaslit to make you, make you think that you going crazy when no, you're not. People just don't know how to take accountability for their wrongdoings, and they trying to reverse it back to you, and it's like, no ma'am. No ma'am. So I think that's the reason why I got kind of like emotionally like just a little riled up, because ooh, child, I just could not believe my eyes. And I tried to watch it a second time because I know I wanted to give my commentary, but I had to cut it off. I just had to cut it off because I was being triggered. Okay, I was being triggered. So yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know if y'all have seen this episode in the comments. Y'all know I want to chat it up in the comments about what is going on. If you haven't seen it, check out this episode, Family and Fiancé, Season 3, Episode 8. Yep. Brijet and Andre. Okay? So, yes. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.